Vigilante Williamson here with a very simple question. Why in the world are you voting for Joe Biden? And I'm asking that question in the affirmative, not why you're voting for the opposition to Trump, which, despite my own political beliefs, I actually do think is a valid reason, because my whole reason for voting, if I do vote and I don't plan on it, would be to vote for Trump in opposition to the Democratic Party and the modern left. So I can't have that same reasoning and then criticize that reasoning. And that's not the point of this video. If that's your reasoning for voting for Biden, okay, the end. You know, there's nothing I can say. But I'm looking for a positive reason. Like, is there something that you believe that Joe Biden will do for you? And I'm particularly, I'm asking the people who have accused Trump of being racist, and that debate is outside the scope of this video, but Biden is quantifiably so, not only in his recent gas, which I'll get into and play back just for effect, and then come back at the end with the kind of a close, but in his legislation, he famously trumpeted the crime bill that led to an increase in black incarceration and an increase in the amount of time that black and brown people have been incarcerated. That's affected people in my own life. And so I don't understand, if you accuse Trump of being racist, why you would vote for someone who is quantifiably so. So let's get into these clips. You've seen them, but I just want to play them just because, not just because, I'm not trying to troll. I think it's important to kind of just remember what was actually said.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. The world. I mean, come on.
So
take a look at the record.
No, I've been critical of you.
And he just said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. And actually, let me go to the bottom. This is one reason I didn't vote. It's this insulting of intelligence at the bottom. Let me go to the end of this video, because they talk about this infamous
jobs that they can't do at home. They're enough.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Ignorance, right here. Ignorance. It was to endear herself, due to use of stereotype, and this "you ain't black" was similar. So let's get back into the more recent ones. This is Errol Barnett interviewing Joe Biden, asking about his cognitive test, which is a very valid question. If we're talking about not having this man debate, and this is what makes him dangerous to me. You don't want him to debate. He's supposed to be the president of the United States, but he can't debate a sitting president. How can he make the cognitive decisions necessary to run the country? And this is his response to it.
In effect, because you're in situations like this on the campaign trail. But please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh?
Wow.
Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who...
This is how he, whether it's mental decline or not, this is clearly how he thinks. To me, this is my opinion. But and here we go. This is probably the most damning of the three.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. You go to Florida, you find a very different attitude about immigration in certain places than you do when you're in Arizona.
So that's his opinion of black people in a nutshell. What do you think? Why do you want to vote for that candidate? And this is a question. I'm asking this genuinely. I'm not asking this to troll. Does it not frighten you that he made these comments and there's been so little backlash, especially in this climate where for not hating police, you're considered racist, even though 81% of black people actually want police presence or more. I think it was like 60%. I'll do another video on that. I think 60% wanted police at their current presence and 20 some odd percent wanted more. I'll do a little more clarification in that video. But again, you're racist if you don't hate all cops. even despite what the opinion is of them. You're racist if you don't want to defund police. Despite what the opinion is in the black community, it doesn't matter. You're racist unless you agree with this opinion. Yet, this man who is running for president of the United States is not considered racist for saying the things he said. If you're any voter, and in particular my brothers and sisters, black brothers and sisters, why do you want to vote for him? If it's just you hate Trump too much, okay. I think more people actually want to do what I plan to do, is just not vote at all. But again, if I do, it would be for Trump. It would not be for Biden. And so I don't understand why you would want to vote for Biden. In my opinion, if you're asking why, if you need a little more clarification, I don't know necessarily if Trump is racist. I think he marketed his whole campaign and everything he did to white people who happen to be nationalists, not necessarily white nationalists, because those are different things, because there are black nationalists, there are people who are patriotic and believe in American culture of all nationalities. But there is an overlap, because I live in the South currently, and you do sometimes see people with Trump hats and they looking at you all funny, and then you just give them a head nod and get freaked out. So, they drink into that Kool-Aid a little bit themselves. So I'm not saying it's completely gone. I'm not going to go that far. Or I'm not going to say it's completely non-existent, that there is some racial antagonistic, there is some, racial junk, if you will, on the right side of things, but there seems to be way more on the left, way more, especially nowadays. So again, if you're voting for Joe Biden, just tell me why, especially if you think he's racist. Why you want him as your president? And maybe you don't. Maybe you're one of the, there's a lot of people on the left trying to get him replaced, and I think that's the right thing to do. I think one of the main reasons I'm so angry with the left, they made the disrespectful decision to put someone who's in clear cognitive decline in as a candidate, and that scares me, because he's a puppet candidate, and that means all the people behind the curtain are going to be controlling him if he does indeed win the presidency. So that's the end of the video. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you hated it and you didn't, please tell me how much I suck in the comments so I can get better. I would appreciate if you share it if you like it that much, and even if you don't, thank you for watching.